Hey, it's Huck. And I should say right off the bat that there's nothing really funny about this week's rant. Like most folks who've heard about the goings-on at Penn State University this week involving a former top assistant football coach there, well, I got to admit, I was shocked, but not really surprised. Now, I don't want to go into all the sordid details of what have been alleged to have occurred in this case. After all, there is an ongoing investigation, and at least so far, no one has been convicted of anything yet. But if I had to hazard a guess, my feelings are that once the facts are all known, if they ever are, we're likely to find that what we know right now is only a tip of a wider, deeper, much darker iceberg that most folks outside of big major colleges and universities would hardly think even possible. But inside that world, inside the world of major colleges and universities who compete each year for tens, even hundreds of millions of dollars in available sports-related cash, well, I tend to think few would be truly surprised. Penn State earned the nickname Linebacker U, largely based on the accomplishments and achievements of the very man being accused of these incidents. Considered a defensive guru, this man served under head coach Joe Paterno for 32 years, and in that time developed 10 All-American linebackers, most of whom went on to become first-round draft choices in the NFL. He was considered a shoo-in to succeed Joe Paterno if and when the old man ever decided to retire. But that didn't happen. Instead, in 1999, Penn State announced that this guy was retiring from the football program and would devote most of his energies from that point on to a charity organization he founded for troubled kids that had already been serving as many as 100,000 troubled young boys across the state of Pennsylvania. That was 1999, and I remember being surprised that the linebacking guru at Linebacker U was not going to stick around to grab that head coaching brass ring that was surely his sooner or later. And it was even more surprising that he wasn't being hired anywhere else. Long before his retirement in '99, he had been offered head coaching positions at Maryland, the University of Michigan, the Pittsburgh Steelers, even the New England Patriots. He had turned them all down. But after his retirement in '99, nada, zilch, zero, nothing. After 1999, not a single college or pro football team is reported to have had a serious sit-down discussion with him about their head coaching vacancy. And maybe, just maybe, it was because word had leaked out that something was amiss. After all, this guy's retirement came only months after an official police investigation in 1998 in which a parent came forward to Penn State officials and accused him of improper activity with her son. Now, nothing much came from that investigation, except that he was told to keep kids off the premises, something he apparently disobeyed repeatedly. And then, of course, months later, it was reported that head coach Joe Paterno sat down with him and informed him that he was no longer under consideration to replace Paterno as head coach, now or any time in the future. And so, the reports say, he voluntarily retired. I suspect that there may have been more to that conversation between Paterno and this guy than we will ever hear about. I also suspect there was a line of Penn State officials and administrators longer than this guy's alleged victims that knew what was going on, but were desperate to keep the reputation of the school intact and to keep the money pouring in. The millions of dollars in donations to the university, in sponsorship contracts, in bowl and television revenue. I'm a big college football and basketball fan. I watch the BCS standings and fill out my March Madness brackets just like millions of other fanatics. Somehow, I don't think I'll ever be able to do those things again without feeling just a little bit guilty. Wondering at what cost my passion for sports and the money it generates has driven these universities and colleges around the country to do the unthinkable. Not just in Happy Valley and in this particular really troubling case, but on other college campuses around the country who may have scandals of their own that will never come out. This scandal, because of its nature and because it involves so many young kids, well, it's easy to feel outrage. But how many other colleges and universities have skeletons of their own of outrageous or illegal activities in their closet, which they keep shielded from prying eyes to keep the money pouring in? By the end of last year, the NCAA had issued a total of 237 major infractions and 151 severe penalties to Division I colleges and universities for sports-related wrongdoings. Apparently, these are the ones we found out about, or what those institutions ultimately owned up to. You know, it took a kid to come forward to expose all of this, because the adults in the room couldn't handle it. I wonder what else is out there, and I wonder if we'll ever really know. Anyway, I'm Huck. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.